Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again with another video. Earlier I tried to do a live stream, but the phone had overheated. So I decided, let me go do a 4K video, and this way I can share my thoughts while I walk and talk. Let's kind of get back to where we were. I'll pretty much do a recap of everything that I was talking about, and hopefully we could gain an understanding of the subject matter. If you want to share your thoughts in regards to this particular video, be sure to join the channel membership so that you can share your thoughts in this community where we have civilized human beings that are able to share their thoughts without dealing with trolls and other interruptions. So we're talking about the Mississippi governor breaks his silence in regards to the Nolan Wells situation. Give me a minute, guys, so I can put on my workout gloves. Right? The Mississippi governor breaks his silence in regards to the Nolan Wells situation, and the black community is upset about it. They don't like the fact that the governor didn't really focus on sharing his condolences for the family. Basically, in a nutshell, people want this to be a racial issue so bad that they believe that if the governor can come out and be like, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, that would add more fuel to the fire, as if though somebody did something wrong to Nolan Wells, not realizing that Nolan Wells' death was a freak accident. And the black community turned this into a race issue, as they normally do. Now, in my last stream that I did, guys, I was trying to get you guys to be educated to understand that Nolan Wells' parents are grifters, and they're using this situation to milk the system so that they can make as much money as possible when it comes to this case. Nolan is dead, guys. He's not coming back, right? That's unfortunate for him. At the same time, it seems as if though the black community is going out of their minds. And the sad reality of this, guys, is this. Many of you that are going hard in the paint over Nolan Wells, you're not going hard in the paint over the death of Aken Liverpool. Aken Liverpool is a black man who died the same exact way as Nolan Wells. He died by drowning. He was on a boat. He was with a group of friends. And for some reason, guys, the media is not pushing that story. The media is ignoring that story. And there's a good reason why. Because you can't bring about racial tension with it. You know why? Because all of Aken's friends were black. All of his friends were black, guys. His family's black, his friends are black. So you really can't turn it into a racial issue as they would like to. Now, let's add more fuel to the fire. Those of you that are following this case, you believe that Nolan Wells is a black man when he's not. Nolan Wells is Filipino. His mother is Filipino. They are not African American. Now, when I mention these things, guys, I'm not mentioning this to say that something is wrong with you if you are Filipino, or that if you're Filipino, your death don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, guys, is that the black community have been bamboozled, hoodwinked, by the media into jumping on board and making this entire situation a race issue because they believe that Nolan Wells is African American. Nolan Wells is not African American. Nolan Wells is Filipino, guys. On Nolan Wells' social media page, right, he have the Filipino flag, the Philippines flag, and he represent himself as a Filipino, not an African American. And I think that's very, very important when it comes to this case, not to make an issue that being Filipino is a problem. That's not what we're talking about. No. What we're trying to educate the community on is the fact that the motivation behind Black Americans jumping on board the Nolan Wells case is because they believe that he's a black man. Meaning, if he was not a black man, or if they were educated to know this, they would not be going as hard in the paint for him because they would know they're wasting their time. Now let's look at a few fun facts so that we can put this case together for you all to understand that you're being hoodwinked and bamboozled by the media. Number one, Nolan Wells had predominantly white friends. That's a fact. You know why? Because he didn't want to hang with black people. Nolan Wells was said to have been with a young lady. And guess what? She wasn't black. She was white. So when you factor in all of this, what I'm seeing is a situation of a young man who hung out with white people, and his interests in women were white women. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's his preference. What I'm trying to establish here, guys, is the fact that people are ignoring the truth that Nolan didn't see himself as African American. And he demonstrated this by the pure fact he never hanged with black people and he didn't want to date black women. But when we look at the community, the black community, you guys are going so hard in the paint for this kid like he's a freedom fighter, like he was out here fighting for the black community, trying to liberate you as a people. When really, Nolan didn't care about black people. He was out there hanging with his white friends. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with you if you have white friends. There's nothing wrong with none of that. What I'm trying to do is establish facts. The family of Nolan Wells is very questionable right now. Why I say that? Well, let's look at a few fun facts. The guy that is posing as Nolan Wells' father, right? His last name, Nolan don't have. Nolan don't share the same last name as that man. That is a major red flag of a stepdad. And a lot of people are ignoring these facts because they want Nolan Wells to be painted as a black American kid, when really he's Filipino. And people just can't accept that because they keep seeing images of that man on the news. So in their mind, that's his dad. And, you know, he's black, so his father's black, and that would make him black. And they're confused because they keep seeing the news media brainwash them, making it a black issue. So now, when they see Nolan Wells, they don't see a Filipino. The news media is not calling him Filipino, guys. They're calling him a black kid. They're not calling the mother Filipino. They're calling her an African American, a black woman. So what we have is a situation of Filipino people posing as African Americans, using the plight of African Americans in order to benefit from African Americans. And in the end, African Americans are using all of their resources and everything to empower a Filipino family. I want you guys to think about that, because that's exactly what's going on. And again, there's nothing wrong if you're a Filipino. There's nothing wrong if you're white. The problem is truth. Speaking the truth in love and being honest with the viewers. Black Americans are fighting for something that they shouldn't be fighting for in the first place. I'm not saying that you can't stand for justice. You can stand for justice. We all should stand for justice. But the truth is, African Americans are not fighting for the justice of Nolan Wells because they like Nolan Wells or know Nolan Wells. They are doing what they're doing because they have an issue with white people. Because if this was any other group, they would not be going hard. If this was a situation where it was a black man who was on board that boat, nobody would care. Just like I told you, there is a case happening right now where you have a black man who died by drowning named Akin Liverpool. Akin Liverpool is a black man who was on a boat celebrating a birthday. He was drinking, he was dancing, and for whatever reason, he ended up falling off that boat, guys. And guess what? None of his friends saw him fall off the boat. The same way, like Nolan Wells' friends didn't see what happened. Isn't it interesting how, in the case of Nolan Wells, everyone is blaming the friends, saying how come they didn't see him fall off that boat? Everybody's accusing them and blaming them for Nolan's death. But in the case of Akin Liverpool, nobody have accused any of Akin's friends or family of any wrongdoing. Nobody have said, how is it that you guys were on the same boat and didn't know that he fell off the boat? Nobody's saying nothing, guys. So you have to conclude why they're not talking about the story of Akin Liverpool. And the reason why they're not talking about the story, guys, is because they can't really generate racial tension. They can't cause a race war when there is a situation where a black guy drowns and all his buddies are black. You can't really raise money that way from black people. The only time money will come out of a black person's pocket is if they feel they're a part of a great war or some sort of fight that involves white people. That's why the case of Nolan Wells has been so successful in terms of making money. Let me tell you all the people and all the players that are making all the money right now. When it comes to the Nolan Wells case, the people that are making all the money are the grifters. Right now, Nolan Wells' family literally made probably more than $1 million already, guys. We're talking about $1 million. And we're not just talking about with GoFundMe. We're talking about with all different types of resources that are coming in publicly and behind the scenes privately. We have Tyler Perry that's paying for the funeral. It's going to be an upscale funeral, very, very high end with security and everything. That costs a lot of money. You have Colin Kaepernick, who paid for the independent autopsy. So you have all these different peoples with heavy pockets that have been paying this family so much money in regards to a death. But yet we got black people that die every day in the black community, and they never get any help. They never get any resources, no news coverage, no nothing, because their life don't matter. Why? Because they're actually African American. But now, when we look at this family, it's a Filipino family, y'all. A Filipino family. And because they're Filipino, they're getting heavy coverage. Heavy news coverage, round-the-clock videos. So the main key players that are making all the money is Nolan Wells' family. Then you have the content creators on social media. Content creators on social media are known for grifting. They love lying to their viewers. So every single day they'll come up with a new video. Breaking news, we have a new update. Breaking news, Nolan friends speak. Breaking news, the girlfriend of Nolan Wells breaks her silence. Breaking news, we have the autopsy. Breaking news, we got this. Wow, the Nolan Wells case have reached a new high. breaking news, the Nolan Wells case got even more interesting. And they'll keep on feeding you new lies every single day to keep the engagement going. And in the end, they make more money. Just look at how many videos Willie D Live has made. Nothing but lies. Look how many videos Trent has made. Nothing but lies. Look how many videos all of these grifters on YouTube have made, just publishing nothing but hate videos to generate racial tension. And black people eat it up every single day. Why? Because we want to blame somebody for his death, even though his death was an accident, guys. Just like brother Ken Liverpool. He died, guys, in a freak accident. Even his friends didn't know he fell in the water. By the time they got back to the shoreline, they realized he was not on the boat. And they made the captain aware of what was going on. And the captain contacted the authorities, Coast Guard, and they did what they had to do. And they searched for his body. And eventually, they found his body. He was dead due to a freak accident, guys. Not because somebody tried to kill him. Why? Because he was around friends. And the sad thing is, a lot of you are accusing Nolan's friends of killing him. Y'all know how evil that is? You think Nolan would appreciate the fact that you are accusing his own friends of killing him? Here's some more fun facts. Nolan's mother basically took it to social media and said that Nolan always went to that island, meaning that island is not new to Nolan Wells. The media want us to believe that Nolan was at a place he didn't really were familiar with, and somebody did something horrible to him, not realizing Nolan and his buddies hanged on that island all the time. Not just for the 4th of July, guys. They went there and they hanged out all the time. The mother confirmed this on video. We talked about it the other day. She said that Nolan always went to that island and he always came home and there was no issues. So if Nolan always went to the island and always came home with no issues after hanging with the very friends that you guys are accusing, why would all of a sudden now his friends want to kill him? And what proof do you have that they actually committed this crime? See, what I don't like, guys, is the fact that the black community is falsely accusing a group of kids of a crime with no proof. That's crazy. Absolutely sick. And you're doing it not because you have facts, but because they're white. That's why you're doing it. And up to now, nobody's talking about Ken Liverpool. Nobody's talking about Ken Liverpool. Why is it that the black community is not talking about Ken Liverpool and he died the same way like Nolan Wells? How come there's no media coverage? How come Ben Crump is not representing the family of Ken Liverpool? How come? Because he's black and he got pretty much unalived via a freak accident and his black friends were on the boat. So Ben Crump don't see any interest in getting involved because black people won't be emotionally invested in that. The only way you will be emotionally invested is if white people are around. And that's the problem, guys. That's the problem. We as a people are driven by our emotions. And the media understand that. Think about how much money is being made right now off of Nolan's death. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's getting rich. And Nolan is dead. So Nolan was a sacrifice. Nolan was a sacrifice, and his parents are exploiting his death for personal gain right now. You know? They're exploiting his death, guys. People die every single day. And they don't get this kind of support, this kind of coverage. There are no suspects, no witnesses, no camera footage, no evidence. There's nothing there. And now people are upset with the governor of Mississippi because he didn't kiss black people's ass. Because he basically saying, look, those that are in charge of this case, I have confidence that they will deal with it accordingly. And black people don't like it. Black people don't like that the governor didn't kiss their ass. And I'm glad that the governor said a brief message and didn't kiss no behind, because why? There's no reason to. He don't have to come online acting like, oh, I'm so concerned with Nolan and I'm so concerned. He don't have to come in with all of that. You know why? That's not his job. And too many times we make things a racial issue, like because you're black, you're supposed to get special treatment. And then we flip it and say, oh, if the person was white, you know, they'll be going all out of their way. There have been many people that have been white that fell off of a boat and died, and they didn't get no justice or coverage for anything. They just label it as a freak accident. So at the end of the day, guys, we gotta stop. We gotta stop accusing people falsely of something they didn't do just because they're white. It's one thing to have evidence. It's one thing to have evidence of a situation. But in this case, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, guys. When it comes to Akin Liverpool's phone, his phone was on the boat, guys. When he fell over, his phone was on the boat, right? So when y'all talk about Nolan Wells' phone being with a friend, and y'all try to turn it into, oh, the friend stole the phone. First of all, why would you kill somebody and then take their phone? That's stupid. Why would you take a phone knowing that a phone could be tracked? It don't make no sense. If anything, a friend would hold your phone. Why? We're gonna leave your phone at sea? Why would we do that? We're gonna obviously take your phone so that by the time you come back, you can find your phone. Especially if you track it, it'll be tracked to your friend's house. So when you think about it, how is it that the mother, now watch this, guys. The mother claimed that something was deleted, or images or something was deleted from the phone. First of all, how she know that? For all we know, she did that. For all we know, she did that, because if she got access to the phone, obviously she knows the information to get in the phone. How could Nolan's friend have access to his phone to delete stuff? How? That don't make no sense, guys. You understand? Because for all we know, Nolan deleted stuff from his phone. And to be honest, you can't really delete anything from a phone because it could be restored. So why are we even having this conversation when all you got to do is give the phone to the feds and they can track anything on that phone that was deleted? I believe the mother fabricated this whole situation in order to get paid, and it's her last resort of making whatever money she can make off her son's death. I really don't believe that that family has ever grieved. I don't believe that that family is given the truth. I don't trust nothing about them, guys. I've been doing this type of content for years, and when I look at that family, I don't trust them at all. I believe that they're grifters. I believe that they're robbing the people, and the mother is posing like a black woman in order to get sympathy from African Americans when she's actually a Filipino, guys. I told you already, the mother is Filipino. She is not African American. You guys are going hard in the paint for a Filipino woman and a Filipino kid. Not saying that they don't deserve justice. What I'm saying is you think they're African American and they're not. That man that's posing as the father, that's a stepdaddy, fam, because Nolan don't share his last name. And when you see a man with a last name different from Nolan, that is a red flag, guys. So I'm gonna also go live about the situation. I just wanted to do a pre-recorded video because my stream was interrupted after my phone overheated. But I will get back to this video later on with more info. So I'm gonna do some reaction videos to some of the things that people are talking about online. And we're gonna get this thing rolling, guys. Now again, being that I speak the truth, guys, I'm not gonna really get the clicks that I deserve because obviously I'm speaking the truth. When you speak the truth, no one supports you. You have to lie in order to make people like you. That's just the way it is, guys. You gotta lie to people. So I'm going to figure this thing out and get back to you guys with more. And that's about it, man. So rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. Tell a friend about the platform. You know, we're gonna continue to do what we do, guys, and that's about it. So don't get caught up in the media hype. Don't get caught up in the lies that they're publishing. Don't get caught up in none of that mess, because they want to lie to you, man. They're lying to you. That's what they're doing. They want you to believe that they are pretty much fighting for the justice of so-called black people, when really they're not. They're not fighting for any justice for us, guys. They are pretty much trying their best to use the Nolan Wells situation to enrich themselves. That's what they're trying to do, guys. So don't fall for it. It is what it is. I'm gonna pretty much get up on out of here, and I'll be back later on with more content, you know? So that's about it, guys. I'm gonna sign out. Yeah. Let me get back my music. I'm gonna get up on out of here, guys. So again, peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. I'll catch you later on with more content. We're gonna talk more about these issues. Ringo TV. You already done know what it is, guys. So rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. So that's about it, guys. All right? Hit that like button, guys, and make sure you hype the video. Don't be hating on this work, man. All right? So I'm out, y'all. Y'all take care. Peace.